If you're over 50, your joints and lower body strength are already changing, and by the time you notice the wobble, some ground has already been lost. The good news is that 5 simple exercises are all it takes to start turning things around. Standing leg lifts. The standing leg lift is a deceptively straightforward exercise that does something most people don't think about until their knees start complaining. It stabilizes the kneecap. Specifically, it targets the quadriceps, the large muscle group running along the front of the thigh, and when the quads are working properly, they keep the patella tracking where it's supposed to during movement. When they're not, the knee tends to feel loose, achy, and unreliable in ways that make everyday activities a lot less enjoyable than they should be. To do this one, stand with your feet about hip width apart and place your hands on your hips for balance. Point your right foot forward, keeping both legs straight, and consciously squeeze the quad. You should actually feel the kneecap being pulled upward and held in place. That sensation is exactly what you're after. From there, lift the right foot about a foot off the ground, hold briefly, and lower it back down with control. The lift itself isn't the whole exercise. That squeeze before you even leave the ground is where the real work starts. Repeat 10 times on the right side, then switch to the left. If you find yourself wobbling, slow down rather than grabbing for support. The balance challenge is part of the benefit, and your body will adapt faster than you expect with consistent practice. Reps, 10 per leg. Standing hamstring curl. If the standing leg lift is working the front of the leg, the hamstring curl is handling the back, and that balance between the two is more important than most people realize. The hamstrings run along the back of the thigh and are directly responsible for stabilizing the rear of the knee joint. When they're weak relative to the quads, the knee ends up doing more work than it should to compensate, and that imbalance tends to show up as stiffness, discomfort, or a general sense of instability that gets harder to ignore over time. Start in the same position as the leg lift, feet hip width apart, hands on hips. Bend the right knee and use the muscles at the back of the leg to curl the foot up toward the glute. The key word there is use. You want to actively engage the hamstring to drive the movement rather than just letting the leg swing up passively. There's a meaningful difference between the two, and the muscles know it even if the movement looks similar from the outside. Lower the foot back to the floor with control, repeat 10 times, then switch legs. Done back to back with the standing leg lift, these two exercises start to build genuine muscular balance in the lower body, which is really the foundation that knee strength and stability are built on. Neither exercise alone tells the whole story, but together they cover both sides of the joint in a way that pays off in daily movement. Reps, 10 per leg. Wall squats. The wall squat is essentially a regular squat with a built-in safety net, and that's precisely what makes it such a smart choice for anyone over 50 who wants to build functional lower body strength without putting unnecessary stress on the knees. The wall isn't there to make things easy. It's there to keep the movement honest. It supports the back, encourages proper alignment through the hips, knees, and ankles, and allows the legs to do real work without the kind of forward knee drift that tends to cause problems in a freestanding squat. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, positioned a couple of feet away from the wall. Lean your upper back against the wall and begin bending the knees, sliding gradually downward until your upper, middle, and lower back are all in contact with the wall. How far down you go depends on your current strength and comfort. Even a modest bend is effective when done with proper form. The wall keeps you honest about alignment in a way that's hard to replicate without it. From the bottom of the movement, press firmly through the heels to drive yourself back up to standing. The heel press matters. It shifts the work into the glutes and hamstrings rather than letting the quads do everything, which is better for the knee joint overall. Repeat 10 times and focus on keeping the movement smooth and controlled in both directions. This one prepares the body for the mechanics of sitting down and standing up, which turns out to be something worth preparing for. 10 reps. Calf and heel raises. This exercise tends to get grouped in with the easy ones, which is a bit misleading, because what it's actually doing is working the entire lower leg and ankle complex in both directions simultaneously, and that has direct implications for knee health that most people never connect. The muscles and tendons that run from the knee joint down to the ankle need to be strong and coordinated in order to support the knee properly during movement. When they're not, the knee picks up the slack, and that's when things start to wear in ways they shouldn't. Stand with your feet hip-width apart and hands on your hips. From there, shift your weight forward onto the balls of your feet and rise up onto your tiptoes, actively working the calves through the full range of motion. Lower back to flat and then keep going. Rock the weight back into the heels and lift the toes off the ground, engaging the muscles along the front of the lower leg. Then return to center. That full back and forth movement is the whole exercise, and it's working both sides of the lower leg in the same set. The coordination required to do this smoothly, shifting from toes to heels without losing balance, is also quietly training your ankle stability, which feeds directly into overall balance and fall prevention. 10 reps of the full sequence, done with focus and control rather than rushed through, builds the kind of lower leg strength that holds everything above it together. Reps, 10 reps. Inner thigh leg lifts. The inner thigh is one of those areas that tends to get overlooked in general strength training conversations, but it plays a specific and important role in knee health that's worth understanding. The medial compartment, the inside of the knee joint, relies on the muscles of the inner thigh and groin for stability, and when those muscles are weak or underused, the knee can start to track inward during movement in a way that accelerates wear and contributes to discomfort over time. This exercise addresses that directly. Stand with your feet hip-width apart and hands on your hips. Point the right foot forward, then cross it over your body toward the left side, externally rotating the leg as you do. Before you lift anything, squeeze the quad to pull the kneecap up, just like in the standing leg lift. That quad engagement is a prerequisite here, not an afterthought. Then lift the leg about a foot off the ground and lower it back down with control. As you do this, you should feel a distinct engagement in the inner thigh and groin of the working leg. If you don't feel it there, slow the movement down and focus on the rotation. The external rotation of the leg is what targets the inner thigh specifically, and without it, the exercise becomes something else entirely. 10 reps on the right, then switch to the left. It's a subtle movement, but consistently working this area pays off in knee stability that you feel across a wide range of daily activities. Reps, 10 per leg.